August TBR. These are the books that I'm going to be reading for the month of August. We're already a week into August, so this is what I'm currently reading / my TBR. I have been absolutely loving the series that I didn't expect to love, and it is Keeper of the Lost Cities. I have the first one here. Of course, I support my local library, so this copy is from the library. It's the first book in the series, but I am currently filming this August 7th, so the first week of August is over, and I have already finished the first one, the second one, and I am 70% done with the third one. So safe to say that I'm absolutely loving these books, so I figured I would review the first one. I've been trying to work on my book reviews, so bear with me because I want to be better at describing what's happening. In this book, Keeper of the Lost Cities, this is a middle grade, by the way. It doesn't really read that way. I'm really impressed, and I'll talk more about that later, but let's establish the story first. You're following this 12-year-old prodigy, Sophie Foster, who lives in San Diego, and she's on a school trip in a museum, and a guy approaches her, a guy who's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years older than her, and says, hey, you're an elf, come with me. And she basically learns that her whole life up until that point has been basically a series of lies. She's a prodigy in the human world, but also in the elf world there is something special that stands out, and she has certain talents. She's a telepath, she can read minds, and she just has a stronger ability than most people around her. And there's more to that. You slowly uncover just how special she is. It is very much like Harry Potter. I hate to bring it up, but it is true, and it is a big reason why I delved into this series, because much like Percy Jackson, I like a lot of world building. I like novels and series that are long and super strongly written, and I had a feeling this might work. But just like Harry was like the boy who lived, people already have these preconceived notions, and people are already like, whoa, this person is different, this person is special. Like, yes, he's a part of our community, but there's obviously more to it than that. So for Sophie, she's super smart in the human world. Once she's introduced to this magical world, she also realizes that there is something different about her, and her origins are unclear. Like, clearly her family that raised her, her human family, is not her own, and you're slowly discovering, not slowly, it happens pretty quick, where you're on this whirlwind journey with her as she tries to figure that out. She gets enrolled in a magical school, and there's different types of abilities. It's not just telepaths, and the magic system is fun. Seeing her go through her classes is fun. Obviously, it's going to be a spoiler-free review. Ultimately, I ended up liking the second and third book better, because to me, at first you're not super invested, but the stakes get pretty high, and elves can live for a really long time, like thousands of years, so I wasn't sure how they were gonna make it feel like there's things at stake here. They do a pretty good job, and people do pass away. It's just a little bit more of a foreign concept. Like for Sophie, as a human, or as an elf raised as a human, everyone around her is kind of like, oh, like you must have dealt with the grief of losing someone. But for a lot of people here, even the adults, it's not as commonly felt, like grief and guilt, and these are important like emotions that play a big role in how these characters interact with each other and stuff. It's really interesting. Everyone's moral compass is really interesting. Something I really like is I feel like the adults here really listen to Sophie, because you're following a young protagonist, right? 12 years old. She doesn't really know, but she's also very smart, and the adults never treat her like a baby. Like, yes, they will keep some things from her, like in terms of knowledge, as well as a reader. Like, there's a lot you don't know at first, because it's like it's not time for her to know yet. So as she matures, you kind of learn more. Like at book 3, there's just so much more answers that you get for things that are kind of like swirling in the distance. Like, where does she come from? Who are her parents? Why is her abilities so much stronger than everyone else's? I feel like the parental figures in this novel are really caring. Like, she's not left to fend for herself. Not a situation where like Harry, like you see Harry with his role models, and obviously like the Dudleys were not great to him. And, you know, he has Dumbledore, but Dumbledore's kind of busy, and like, no spoilers here if you haven't finished Harry Potter, but like he tends to lose a lot of people that he cares about, except for like the Weasleys. But even that, you know, like it's nice to follow a protagonist and to have not just 1 or 2 figures, like adults that are there for her and like really care about her well-being. Like, it's not just her being the chosen one, right? Like, you're the chosen one, you're gonna have to make sacrifices, and then that does happen in these novels, but it's still done where people are checking in on her mental well-being, on her physical well-being, and I think that's nice to read. There was one obnoxious line in this first book that I didn't like, and it was something to the effect of her describing the human parents that she was raised in, and it's kind of like set up like she's different. Like, Sophie has brown eyes, first of all. Every other elf has really bright green or blue eyes, turquoise. It depends on who you're talking about, but Sophie has brown eyes, and that really stands out in that world. But there's a line, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, but it was really obnoxious, where she's just like talking about her human family, and she's like, yeah, my my chubby brown-eyed brunette family, something like that. I don't know. It was like too much, like you're laying it on too thick, and this doesn't happen in any of the other novels, but it's like you're laying it on too thick that you think she's so special, and also why is weight included in that? I don't know. It was really weird little line. It happens, I think, kind of early, but yeah, I should have bookmarked it. I'm not an annotator or anything like that, but I definitely want to be. I mean, granted, I'm reading these now on my Nook, so it's a little bit different like that. If I had the Kindle, not the Kindle, please, I don't want any Kindles. If I had the Kobo Libra Scribe, then I would have been able to do some really cute annotations. But yeah, it was just one little line that I feel like I didn't like. It definitely rubbed me the wrong way. Like, it just felt like you're putting down, like the author is having Sophie put down her family just to emphasize just how special. If I ever find it, I'll put it up here, like on the screen. I'm just flipping through because I remember it was on this side. But yeah, I really like it, and I'm on the third one, and like it's very action like driven, and I'm constantly like, what's happening next? That's what's going on. So I'm literally 70% done with the second book, and I just bought it. Like, I just got it like a day and a half ago. That's how good these books are. And there's like, what, I don't even know how many books there are total in the series. But a part of me doesn't want to finish it too fast because it's been so good kind of seeing how many, I'm looking this up now. It's been so good to have something to look forward to, basically, because I've been in such a major book slump for so long. So as of now, there are 11 books in the Keeper of the Lost City. So 9 main novels and then 2 companion half-stuff books that are important to read in order. So I've read Keeper of the Lost Cities. It's the one that I have right here with me. I read Exile as a ebook, and the one that I'm almost done with is Everblaze. And then next will be Never Seen, and then I'm not even gonna look further because I don't wanna get spoiled. But yeah, it's been a blast, guys. Like, I'm really happy with where I've been with reading, and you know, it's been a good distraction from like life struggles, and like I find myself looking forward to the commute home. Like, I used to be very like, let me just listen to music, let me just scroll on my phone. But now that I've been reading, specifically with my e-reader, it's been really nice because as much as I love a physical book, this is so heavy. And it doesn't look heavy, but like this, with my planner, with my journal, with like a whole bunch of things in my book bag, with my lunch, it ends up being really heavy. So I'm kind of glad to have the option to have these as ebooks. And would I love something other than a Nook? Probably. Like, I've really been second guessing my decision. Not really. I knew what I was getting into when I decided to buy a Nook, but a part of me does wish that I had held off for like a Kobo Libra Scribe or something. But I just want it in black and white. Like, to me, the color e-ink doesn't necessarily entice me in that way. But anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you soon with another one. Bye.